Younes Maamar, member of the political bureau of the PAM, Party of Authenticity and Modernity. So we had today a conference or workshop to discuss the next steps into this process. And a very critical step that we are moving into, that is, now that we have established that sovereignty is the framework under which discussion is to be had, how can we bring in an inclusive discussion into understanding what autonomy would look like in this context? A couple of things have we talked about, and we particularly talked about the fact that this initiative doesn't come out of the blue. It comes in a context where Morocco, for the last 26 years, have created and through it gained a credibility on three aspects. On the economic aspects, with the GDP per capita that has been multiplied by three over the 26 years since His Majesty the King Mohammed has been King of Morocco. The tripling of the GDP is not something easy, especially when it's not done out of export or increase of price of exporting product. It's by the densification of our economy. The second thing is that there is a dynamic that has been taking place in implementing a democracy by the reform of the legal framework on civil codes, on journalism codes, press codes, on code with regards to the rights of strike rights or the rights of the workers. Some of those have been asleep for over 60 years. And the third one, which is quite fundamental, is how Morocco has decided to put in place the principle of social solidarity or national solidarity, l'état social. So this is the context in which where this comes into play. And the principle, as has been said by His Majesty the King the night of the 31st of October, the dynamic is to reach out to Moroccans on both parts of the equation with humility, a realism, and without considering that there is a winner in the game, because ultimately we are winner only if we all win, and we are loser only if we all lose. So that's the dynamic in which we have spoken today. And of course, as a party, we take a full role in this exercise. We have organized a bilateral discussion with other parties across the continent and in Europe. I mentioned a couple of them, the MK Party of South Africa, presided by President Jacob Zuma, that came visit us in Morocco a couple of months ago, or the Mouvement Réformateur in Belgium, and other initiatives. And because the diplomacy of parties will be instrumental in this exercise. And last but not least, we're organizing in March of this year an annual conference with the International Liberal, which is an international movement created in 1947 that comprises parties across the globe with a strong footprint in many countries, least of which in Europe and South America. And we're organizing a conference with them in Morocco next spring, or next March, and that will be another way for us to, based on the credibility that I just talked about, plead for an acceleration of the process. Ultimately, this is a Morocco-to-Morocco exercise. It has to be considered that way. It has to be preserved that way. We have to put aside a lot of affect, a lot of emotions, and we also, as I was saying in my talk, history has taught us that we need to listen to the youth, especially the youth of the region, in terms of how to contribute into the building of their dignity, of their hope, and ultimately of their happiness.